the same thing that brought happiness to you 10 years ago might not still bring happiness to you in that moment. And what I mean by that is you may have done something previously and it brought you huge amounts of happiness. But then you wake up and realise financially you're in a bit of a hole. You're feeling quite down and depressed at the minute. You've got no motivation because of things that have happened or something's happened to you. And then suddenly you do the same thing for some reason. You might be going somewhere, seeing someone, doing something. And you remember back and think, man, I was really happy doing this 10 years ago or 5 years ago or 2 years ago or 6 months ago. But I don't feel happiness doing it now. So suddenly when you go to a deeper level, and this is probably from a more Buddhist standpoint, it's that happiness isn't caused by the external aspect. Happiness is down to us. It's down to our interpretation. It's down to us understanding ourselves on a deeper level. Within the message that this gentleman put to me, he brought in the word happiness. And I think that's what I wanted to do the podcast around today, to give a little bit of context in terms of my own personal perspective on this. So as always, as you always say, please understand this isn't me saying that this is right. This is probably more of a philosophical take on it, which is where I see myself kind of sat in the world right now. I think that I'm quite strong in researching and learning in different areas and picking up what I feel is right for me to help me be a better person and live a better life. And something kind of that I stated to the gentleman, and also kind of I put a post out personally around this, is like, even as a coach, if someone came to me on a one-to-one level, like, I can't help someone find happiness because ultimately I don't know what happiness is to them. And if you broke that down even further, I think that life is so crazy that depending on your emotional state, depending on the things that are going on within your life at that minute in time, the same thing that brought happiness to you 10 years ago might not still bring happiness to you in that moment. And what I mean by that is you may have done something previously and it brought you huge amounts of happiness. But then you wake up and realise financially you're in a bit of a hole. You're feeling quite down and depressed at the minute. You've got no motivation because of things that have happened or something's happened to you. And then suddenly you do the same thing for some reason. You might be going somewhere, seeing someone, doing something. And you remember back and think, man, I was really happy doing this 10 years ago or 5 years ago or 2 years ago or 6 months ago. But I don't feel happiness doing it now. So suddenly when you go to a deeper level, and this is probably from a more Buddhist standpoint, it's that happiness isn't caused by the external aspect. Happiness is down to us. It's down to our interpretation. It's down to us understanding ourselves on a deeper level. Now, Buddhism have this very interesting strategy. I think this is Stoicism as well, actually. Apologies, it might be more Stoicism, but I know the interlink. And I'm not saying I agree with this, by the way, but this is what I mean about having an open mind. And it's along the lines of, like, they'll never let themselves become too happy with something or too excited or too motivated, because on the flip of that, they know that there's going to be times where they feel really down and really demotivated. So what they have this kind of philosophy is that if they stay just in the middle, they will never reach the peak of true amazing happiness. But because of that, they'll never reach the lows that kind of come on the reverse of that. So they just stay in the middle all the way through. And they see that as a good thing. And I'm not saying it's good or bad, by the way. But I just thought it's relative to what I'm talking about now, because I think that's the pinnacle of this. I think sometimes we have this idea of what will make us happy. And this is talked about a lot within goals. It's like, when I achieve this, I know I'll be happy. when I have this much money, when I get this job, when I get to this body shape, I am then going to be happy. And some people are. Some people get there and are happy. But the difference with those individuals is that they've enjoyed the process and they've enjoyed the person that they've become. So they're happy because their whole identity is shifted within that realm. On the flip of that, you get some people who fight hard to be financially free or rich or wealthy. They fight hard to completely transition their body shape, but then they see the knock-on effect that has on relationships with people, with food, on energy levels, and that then can become resentment. So when you achieve goals, you start to resent the fact that, right, okay, I've achieved it, I don't really feel happy, and if I want to continue to be at this point, I'm going to have to continue to do things that actually make me quite unhappy. So do you kind of see the spin where I'm coming from with this? So what I kind of stated back to this gentleman is like, I can't help you find happiness. That has truly got to come from yourself. And also the understanding that happiness isn't necessarily judged upon something that you're going to feel all the time. What's more powerful is to understand self. To understand yourself, who you want to be, the purpose and meaning behind your life, which I think is where, in my truthful opinion, my opinion, is where a lot of people really struggle and think that they're not happy. And it's because they haven't got enough things within their life that bring them meaning and purpose. And I think when you find things that bring you meaning and purpose on a weekly or a daily or weekly basis, that alludes to the fact that you start to become happier with your life. You feel like your life has got some direction. You feel like your life has got some focus. You start to feel better about yourself. Feeling better about yourself starts to heighten your emotions and your mental state. And suddenly you do feel a level of happiness. And that level of happiness can be increased tenfold because of all of those emotional changes that are kind of going on. And also how we are looking at our lives and what's going on around our lives. Because again, the epitome of it is, as I started off in this audio and video, that something that we would think would bring us happiness might not bring it on a day where things are going really bad. We've just had a massive argument with the missus. Our kids are playing up and we've got serious issues with our kids. We've just got a huge financial bill through the door or found out we're in financial trouble. Something's happened at work that was out of our control, but it's really hit the fan. Now, all of these factors can hugely affect how happy we feel. So suddenly you could wake up in the morning, be on top of the moon, and then suddenly find the news out and drop straight down. So happiness, in essence, yes, we are in control of it, but I'd say what we are more in control of is self-awareness. Okay, so I've woke up super happy and these things have happened quite negatively. They are going to affect how I'm feeling. You still have a choice of determining whether it's going to affect you completely. Some people have a huge resilience and strength to say, and I have this at times, I don't have it at other times. It's certain times I can wake up in a good mood, feeling really happy about what I'm going to do in the day, what I've got coming up, get some bad news in whatever essence it may be. But of that inner strength to think, you know what, I'm not letting that bother me today. I'm in a good mood and I'm going to crack on. I'm going to enjoy what I have planned.
Mm-hmm.